In the Types of Sources video, we talked about the two broad categories of sources and how information needs change depending on the situation. Today, we're going to look specifically at peer-reviewed sources. One of the situations might be writing an assignment for your professor. Many times, your professors will ask you to find and use a scholarly source called peer-reviewed articles. You might also want a peer-reviewed article when your information need requires in-depth or research-based information. Some people will use scholarly sources and peer-reviewed articles interchangeably because most scholarly sources are peer-reviewed. So let's start with a basic definition. Peer-reviewed articles or sources were written by experts in the field and then reviewed and evaluated by other experts in the same field before being published in a journal. Why is that important? When we use a peer-reviewed article, we know an expert vetted the article. The research presented is reliable and repeatable. The author should point out limitations to their findings and the project itself. However, we should always keep in mind that people have biases, including the authors. How do we know when an article is peer-reviewed? Not all articles are peer-reviewed. And when we are required to use peer-reviewed articles, it is important to be able to find a peer-reviewed article. We can use some context clues based on the article itself. Peer-reviewed articles have scholarly sources characteristics. These articles tend to be more technical, present a research project, and the data or findings from the project. This means that the article often has statistics or tables and charts to show the data. The articles are also longer and have lots of references listed both throughout the article and at the end of the article. We usually find peer-reviewed articles in the library's databases or through a Google Scholar search. In the library's databases, there is often a filter to narrow down to peer-reviewed articles. This can be a helpful, quick way to know an article is peer-reviewed. Unfortunately, Google Scholar does not have that filter. So you will need to do some extra searching to figure out if an article you find on Google Scholar is peer-reviewed. The best way to figure out if an article is peer-reviewed when you aren't sure is to visit the journal's website. The title of the journal where the article is published should be on the first page of the article. You can search Google for the journal's website. Once you find the journal, go to the journal's About page. You should find a description that explains what type of journal it is, what they publish, and their publishing process, or whether it's a peer-reviewed journal or not. Some journals will list the type of article as part of the heading on the article. If you need help figuring out if an article is peer-reviewed or not, a librarian can help you during a research coach appointment.